Okay, guys, so just a little update, and sorry about the rain noise in the background. Um, so, when you'd left me last, I had just separated the gearbox from this, and then I went off on holidays for 2 weeks and took a couple of extras just to catch up and work and everything like that. So, now I'm back with a bit of free time to be able to continue on this. So you might remember the first stud here, first top row stud here had snapped on me, and basically today I drilled it out. So I have my cutting oil and my different drill bits and everything like that, and I went up as far as 6.5, I believe, drill bit wise. Hold on, I'll tell you now. Yeah, I think it's 6.5. But the started off at 3.5 mil of a drill bit, and thought it was fairly centre. But then when you start looking at it, it's slightly out of centre, and I was sort of panicking. Then I couldn't find a 4.5, so I found a 4.5 eventually, but the quality of the drill bit was terrible, and it ended up snapping inside of it, which was horrible. So sorry, that was for a 4 and a 4.5. Both of them ended up snapping. Then, lucky enough, then I had some of nicer quality Dormer brand 5 and 5, or sorry, 5.5, and a 6.5 then. So I was able to, even though it was slightly off centre, I thought I was going to be really, really badly out, but I was able to then put my tap into it and tap it out to M8. So that was great. Got tapping it away. Sort of my tapping system, I don't have like a ratchet extension, so I did it with like a set of grips just out here, and I was sort of turning. It's this one here now that I was working on, so I was like that, working away, backing off. Every time I heard it kind of click, I'd back away, take it all out, put some more blow it out with air, more cutting oil on the tap and in the hole. And basically after I did that, I was really, really chuffed with that, and I said I'll go around and just clean up all of these. So I went and I cleaned up all of them, and each time you came out with a little bit of muck and kind of carbon more than anything, the odd bit of Schwartz here and there where there was a little thread that was slightly damaged, because I said to myself, these are going to be awkward here. And actually the most awkward ones to access were the ones that had the most messed up thread, basically. So when they're in the engine bay, they are hard to get at. So people end up putting cross-threading very slightly at the start, and then messing up the starting threads. And I just said, while it's easy to access, I'll run the cutter and the die or the tap through all of them, which was perfect, brilliant. So what I did notice though, and I hope I'm going to get away with it, was this is the bottom one. So this one with the stud came out perfectly, and I just put the tap through it, and you can see, I don't know if that's coming through, there's a bit of play there, right? And they all seem to have that. Okay, now if I put this into the one that I had to drill out, and I had all the messing with and broken drill bits and all of that, you'll see, well, I'll get it in a bit further. So these starting ones, I've got a lot more play. Now it is in, but I don't know if it's going to hold up to that torque. See this play here? Now if I go the whole way down, and just bear with me while I try and do this one-handed, that play is the same as all the rest of them. But it is, I'd say, about 75% of the, see? So I've only got that bottom piece that's really, really tight. Now, in saying that, the rest, that could be enough. I don't know if that's going to be enough to take the torque to tighten it up, basically, to seal it properly, because and you come out really far. Like the further you come out, the more play you get. Now the taps are tapered, so it would get more and more play anyway the further you come out. But in its maximum input, and at its obviously its widest area, which would be here, and its maximum input, it is a very stable piece. But that's in the last 25% of its travel. So if I was to grab, hold on, I have a stud out here. Yeah. If I was to grab this stud, put it in, and just, I'm not going to nip it up with the impact. That'd be crazy. Just 1 second, guys. So if I was just to nip that up like that, right? So that's literally no force. Yeah, to get me to that point. Just enough that it's tight. There's no rock in that. None whatsoever. And the stud is a perfectly squared off, straight M8 thread from start to finish. And there's absolutely no rock in that. Whereas my tap is tapered in the middle. But if I loosen it up, there is a little bit of movement. Ever so slight. Let me see if you can see this. Right, so you can see that, and then the more I loosen up, the more that wobbles. So it's obviously this hole is a bit oblique in its shape at the front part, and gets better the further down you go. Let's just put this into another. So if I bring that in just a little bit, yeah, there's still play, but it's not near the same. And then when you get down here, it's exactly the same. It comes in tight. So, what are my options? Do I worry about it? This is one bolt out of, how many's on it? A good number. I'm not going to count them here on camera, but it's one stud out of the full quantity. It does tighten in its last 25% of travel. Is there a system in place that I could put less torque into it? I can imagine the exhaust studs don't take a lot of torque when you're putting them in, but the heat cycles will apply a pressure, and will I end up getting a leak here? Will it pull those last 25% of threads out? I don't know. So what do you guys think? I can tell you it's definitely worthwhile running the taps, the M8 tap through all of them, because just now they all just moved really, really silkily. It's just that is definitely obviously from the way it travels, it's obviously oblique in its size, or oval rather than round, and that was to do with I started off wrong. I've never done that before, never had to drill out a thread before, so actually, even though I had all those issues, it went quite well, considering I'm an amateur at this. But yeah, so what do you guys think? 25% of the thread is tight, the rest of them have holding power but not much, or well, I don't know if you can say not much, but definitely have that wobble to it. Still has holding power, I suppose. Yeah, let me know. And then there's just one other final thing. This is a curiosity more than anything. These ball bearings that you can see all along, I never noticed these before or seen them mentioned or anything. I wonder, can anybody tell me what they're linked to? I presume they're something to do with the valves opening. But I honestly don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Bye.